Welcome everyone to my SH Figuarts review of the Friendly Neighbourhood Spider-Man. Yes, Bandai Tamashii Nations have finally given us one of the most anticipated releases of the year. It is Spider-Man from No Way Home, the Tobey Maguire edition, Peter 2, the Raimiverse trilogy. Whatever name you want to call it, this is my definitive Spider-Man. And finally we have an updated modern day version in 1/12 scale, as it's been far too long since we had the Toy Biz line almost 20 years ago now. So I gotta thank the Marvel Cinematic Universe for producing that movie. Otherwise, who knows if we had to wait another couple of years for this particular release. As I'm kind of surprised that no other toy company in recent years have given us this Spider-Man. And I know that originally Tamashii Nations were meant to release the Amazing Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield version, but due to the licensing with the face sculpt, it's now been delayed. So I'm not actually complaining too much, as this is the Spider-Man I've been looking forward to the most. So let's first take a look at the packaging, and of course we'll move on to the figure itself. And it's kind of standard in terms of SH Figuarts. We have a nice shot of the character in digital print. We have the titles. It's known as the Friendly Neighbourhood Spider-Man because that's how he introduced himself in the 2002 movie. And then we have the usual stickers, the logos, and then we have kind of like a print of his suit. So the spider logo, the red and blue colours, a very nice presentation. And then on the side we have the title with a shot of Spider-Man. And then on the other side it's the same but with a larger photo. And then at the top we have the titles, and then at the bottom we have some information, and then at the back we have the figure in different poses. So inside we have the usual background. They've given us a grey one, and then we also have the instruction manual to show you how to put on the accessories. So here is the Friendly Neighbourhood Spider-Man inside its packaging. So before we take a look at the figure itself, this is all the accessories included. We have 2 alternative head sculpts, 5 sets of interchangeable hands, 5 webs in different lengths, as well as the unmask. So here is the first look at the Friendly Neighbourhood Spider-Man, and for me it's still the definitive look in the live action movies. I know it's not the most accurate one to the comics, but in terms of the best looking one, the most menacing, I think it is this Spider-Man. And it is based on No Way Home, let's not forget, although it's the same suit he wore in the original trilogy. But due to Tobey Maguire, of course, wearing the suit once again 20 years later, and the new CGI, there was 1 or 2 tweaks here and there, but overall it is based on the 2000s look. So you can see that they've translated it into this figure. Now for a Spider-Man, obviously him in this neutral pose isn't going to be the best. You need him in his dynamic poses, the wall crawling ones, web swinging ones, which I will do later on. But in terms of kind of like the first impressions of the suit, I think it looks good. It's not perfect. Now, Tobey Maguire has never been the biggest Spider-Man or the thinnest. He was kind of in the middle. He had that kind of stockier look. But for SH Figuarts, I don't really expect it. I think they've got the proportions okay. But if you're new to buying, say, Spider-Man figures for the SHF, don't expect him to be bigger than a Marvel Legends or a Mezco version. They've always done it a bit more smaller scale. So for me, it's okay. But you can see that they still have improvements overall. And in terms of the way they've sculpted the joints, I know some people don't like the way Tamashii Nations do their kind of sculpts. But I'm used to it now, and I just feel that you need to have him kind of like this if you want to do the best articulation. So you can't have it both ways. And you can see that the way they've sculpted just the overall look of the suit is almost perfect in terms of the chest emblem. The white lines I think is very important for the Spider-Man suit. And I think the lightness, the mask look is accurate. Even then you can sometimes not get it right, but I think it does look like him. So yeah, this is overall a very good sculpt, and even the colors I feel they've got right. So yeah, I'm really impressed by the way Tamashii Nations have done this. Obviously there are improvements which it can do, but in terms of like the first look, I guess it's a great pickup from what I'm seeing at the moment. So we'll put on the accessories and also test out the articulation. Moving on to the accessories, we have 5 sets of alternative hands. So out of the box it is the closed fists, and they have included a set of open palms for the wall crawling hands, the web shooter hands which can be paired up with the webs. We also have some grapple hands, which is for the accessory, as well as another set of grapple hands for another accessory. And for a bonus, they have included the pointing of the fingers, which of course is used for that meme. And for the web accessories, they have included 5 in total, and this is something that we've seen before in their previous SH Figuarts. So there is a set of short webs, as well as the medium length webs, and also one extra long one, which can be used for the swinging pose. Let's move on to the alternative head sculpt, which of course is one of the most important accessories for this figure, and that is the unmasked look, which of course is for Peter Parker. And you do have to remove both the neck and the mask. So here is the Tobey Maguire look. So in the promo photos, it did look good, and in person, I think they've got the accuracy right. It's not perfect, as we know Tamarachi Nations sometimes are very good at their face sculpt, sometimes not so much. I think this one isn't too bad. I think it's definitely got the lightness right. So the expression is pretty normal. I guess it would have been better for an angry face or the smiling one, but I guess they've opted for this version. And I think different angles, you can definitely see the likenesses. And this is going to be very key in many scenes. So if you're one that's going to be taking a lot of photos or just having this posed as a display, this is definitely a good option. And it is very disappointing that they have cancelled the Andrew Garfield version. It is a bit inconsistent now that we're going to get this version and the Tom Holland one. So I'm going to have to buy a third party one for Andrew. So in terms of the lightness, yeah, I'm going to say I'm very happy with this. And they have included a alternative one as well, which I'm going to put on. So it is always an extra bonus when there is 2 unmasked head sculpts. And this one, I must admit, is not the best lightness. They've got the hair up, which I understand when he takes off the mask towards the end before he says his goodbye. But they've got this very kind of grinning look, which I can understand why they did it, because it was a very memorable scene, I guess. But I would have preferred an angry face or maybe the smiling one, not too much of a grin. So this one I'm most likely not really going to use. So I definitely prefer the standard one. It would have been a bonus if they included the slightly longer hair for his original trilogy. I think that would have been cool, but I guess they're not really going to do that. So this alternative head sculpt is a nice bonus, but something that I most likely won't use. The original unmasked one is a lot better. So yeah, this is the one that I like way more. So do you agree? And for the final accessory, we have the mask on its own, and this is the first time we've seen it in an SHF Spider-Man. I know someone like Mafex have done this before, so this is definitely a nice touch. And you can see that it's pretty detailed. It's something that you put on the hand, and then it gives him that look as if he's holding onto the mask. You can place it on the side if you want, like in the movie, but this is the look that it's trying to go for. And I think this is very unique. I guess it's the first time we've seen it in an SH Figuarts. So for me, this is extra points. So now let's test out the articulation of this figure, which is a very important aspect for any Spider-Man. As we all know, he needs to be in some dynamic poses. So let's start off with the standard movement. So the head sculpt, it goes left and right, and then there's also full rotation. You can hear the sound, it's quite stiff at the moment right out of the box. And then upwards and downwards, which Spider-Man always needs. Side to side. And then for the arms, it's very smooth, nothing gets in the way for the shoulders. And then obviously forwards, backwards, upwards, side to side. And it goes in as well. So the arms is very smooth, which I'm sure they put a lot more effort into. And then there's rotation on the forearm as well as this kind of bicep part. And then we also have some arm bends, which goes all the way back. There's rotation on the hand, and there's hinges as well. Very surprised the way they've done this articulation. It's actually very smooth compared to some other ones right out of the box. Guess they did it on purpose because Spider-Man needs it. So for the body we have rotation, side to side, forwards, backwards. Just make sure he doesn't hurt his back. And then we have the waist, not so much in terms of the swivel, but side to side, and then the full crunch forwards and backwards, and then for the legs, kicks forwards, backwards. And I can definitely see improvement in this articulation already. Normally for a figure it takes a bit of stiffness to it, but this one, I think they've changed the way they've built it. You can see that it rotates really well, and then it does the splits, and then of course there's a knee bend, there's rotation, and then for the bottom half we have the leg movement there, so rotation, toe hinge, side to side. So this is an almost perfect movement of a Spider-Man SH Figuarts. It might be one of the best ones I've experienced. So if you want to get Spider-Man in all kinds of swing poses and kind of the jumping ones, it's going to have it. So definitely you can see that this is going to be the perfect one for any photographer. So obviously I'm not doing the best poses here, but if I'm going to take photos, I'm going to get this in plenty of movement. So yeah, I'm really satisfied with the articulation. Over time, I'm not sure if it will get loose, but there's no stiffness at all. So now for the size comparison, starting off with its fellow SH Figuarts. So both from the No Way Home line. On the left we have the upgraded suit, and on the right is the original integrated suit. Of course, we are now waiting for the Amazing Spider-Man and the Final Battle integrated version. And here it is next to the SH Figuarts Venom from Venom Let There Be Carnage, and the Medicom Mafex The Amazing Spider-Man. And here it is next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends with Ned Leeds and Peter Parker from the Homecoming 2-pack. And next to some classic Toy Biz figures with Mary Jane and J. Jonah Jameson. And here it is next to a Toy Biz superposable Spider-Man 2 figure, and even though it's served well for over 20 years, there's simply no competition next to the SH Figuarts. So now for my final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Friendly Neighbourhood Spider-Man for No Way Home. This is a great figure simply because it's been far too long since we've had one in this scale. I think overall the likeness is correct, the proportions are on point, and the unmasked head sculpt is very accurate. I know there is the third alternative smiling one which isn't the best, but I think 2 of the head sculpts is already enough options for me. We also get the usual accessories like the hands as well as the webs in different lengths, and this figure can be put into different poses like we want. In terms of improvements, maybe we could have gotten a better expression on the unmasked head sculpt, like a angry face, and it would have been unbelievable if they released a younger looking one like the 2002 movie. Overall, I'm satisfied with this SH Figuarts as it's definitely one of the best I have in my collection. It's now set the standard for others to follow, and I also have high hopes for their releases of the Amazing Spider-Man and the Final Battle integrated suit versions. This is a 9 out of 10, the best I have in my collection, and a quality figure all in all. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and of course stay tuned for more videos related to the Spider-Man No Way Home line. And finally, thanks for watching.